The awakening. The hiss of escaping gases filled the cavernous chamber as thousands of stasis pods began their awakening sequence. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen's eyes fluttered open, her mind groggy from 3 millennia of artificial sleep. As the pod's transparent cover slid away, she took her first breath of real air in 3,000 years, only to choke on the stale, dusty atmosphere. "Status report," she croaked, her vocal cords rusty from disuse. The ship's AI responded with a calm, synthesized voice that belied the gravity of the situation. "Welcome back, Lieutenant Commander Chen. The year is 5023 CE. I regret to inform you that Earth has fallen." Sarah's heart raced as she struggled to process this information. The last thing she remembered was the desperate plan to preserve a fraction of humanity in deep space as an alien armada approached Earth. They were supposed to return in a century, not 3,000 years. "Oh, hey, what happened? Why didn't we wake up sooner?" The A's voice carried a hint of remorse. "An unexpected gravitational anomaly knocked us off course. By the time I corrected our trajectory, 2,984 years had passed. I deemed it prudent to complete the original 3,000-year sleep cycle to ensure all systems were functioning optimally." Sarah climbed out of her pod, her muscles weak but quickly regaining strength thanks to the advanced stasis technology. Around her, other crew members were emerging, confusion and fear etched on their faces. "How many survived?" she asked, dreading the answer. Of the original 10,000 passengers and crew, 9,872 have successfully emerged from stasis. The others did not survive the extended journey. Sarah closed her eyes, mourning the lost souls. But there was no time for extended grief. They had a mission, even if it was 2,900 years late. "What's the situation on Earth?" Aria's holographic form flickered into existence beside her, a translucent blue figure shaped like a gender-neutral human. "Earth is currently under the control of the Zarkov Imperium, the same alien force that attacked 3,000 years ago. The planet's ecosystem has been dramatically altered to suit their physiology. Human survivors on Earth are rare." The news hit Sarah like a physical blow. Everything they had known, everyone they had left behind, gone. But a spark of defiance ignited within her. They might be 3,000 years late, but humanity wasn't finished yet. "Show me," she commanded. Aria nodded, and suddenly the walls of the ship became transparent, revealing the blue-green orb of Earth below them. But it wasn't the Earth they remembered. Vast, crystalline structures covered much of the surface, glowing with an eerie purple light. The oceans had a sickly green tinge, and angry storm systems raged across unfamiliar continents. "My God," whispered Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the ship's chief scientist, as she joined Sarah at the viewport. "What have they done to our home?" Sarah's jaw clenched. "They've taken it from us, Doctor, and we're going to take it back." Over the next few hours, as the crew fully awakened and gathered their bearings, Sarah and the other leaders pieced together their dire situation. The Zarkov had not just conquered Earth, they had reshaped the entire solar system to suit their needs. Mars was now a thriving colony world, its atmosphere thickened and warmed. The asteroid belt had been mostly dismantled, its resources used to construct massive space habitats and shipyards. "They've had 3,000 years to entrench themselves," mused General Okonkwo, studying the tactical displays. "A frontal assault would be suicide." Sarah nodded grimly. "Agreed. We need to be smarter than that." "Aoyao, what can you tell us about Zarkov weaknesses?" The AI's avatar shimmered as it accessed its databanks. The Zarkov rely heavily on a unique form of psychic energy to power their technology and maintain their societal structure. This energy is generated by massive psionic amplifiers on their conquered worlds. Without these amplifiers, their technology becomes significantly less effective. Dr. Tanaka's eyes lit up. "If we could disrupt these amplifiers, we could level the playing field," Sarah finished. But first, we need a base of operations, somewhere off their radar where we can plan and prepare. HFY interjected, I may have a solution. During our long journey, I detected a suitable planet just outside the range of Zarkov's sensors. It's about 20 light-years from Earth, possesses a breathable atmosphere, and has abundant resources. I've designated it Haven. Sarah felt a glimmer of hope. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Set a course, ARIA, and engage the stealth systems. We can't risk the Zarkov detecting us now. As the massive colony ship silently glided away from Earth's orbit, Sarah addressed the awakened crew. Thousands of faces looked up at her, a mix of fear, determination, and hope in their eyes. I know this isn't the homecoming we expected, she began, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her heart. We've lost more than we could have ever imagined, but we haven't lost everything. We carry within us the spirit of humanity, our creativity, our resilience, our unwavering determination to survive against all odds. She paused, letting her words sink in. The Zarkov think they've won. They believe they've erased humanity from the galaxy, but they're wrong. We are the ember that will reignite the flame of human civilization, and make no mistake, we will reclaim our home. A cheer erupted from the crowd, a defiant roar against the vast, uncaring cosmos. As Sarah looked out at the sea of faces, she saw the indomitable human spirit shining in their eyes. They had lost Earth, but they hadn't lost hope. The colony ship accelerated, leaving behind the corrupted solar system. But this wasn't a retreat. It was the first step in humanity's long journey back from the brink of extinction. The Zarkov had no idea what was coming for them. As Haven grew larger in the viewscreen, Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The real work was just beginning, but for the first time since waking up in this nightmare future, she felt a surge of genuine optimism. Humanity had survived worse odds before, and now, with 3,000 years of pent-up vengeance fueling them, they were about to remind the galaxy why you should never, ever count humans out. The awakening was just the beginning. The real battle for Earth's future was about to begin, the forge of titans. The harsh winds of Haven howled across the alien landscape, whipping up clouds of iridescent dust. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen stood atop a newly constructed observation tower, surveying the progress of New Olympus, humanity's secret fortress and last hope. 3 years had passed since their arrival on this world, and the transformation was staggering. What began as a handful of prefab shelters had evolved into a sprawling complex of gleaming structures, each a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Impressive, isn't it? A gravelly voice spoke from behind her. Sarah turned to see Dr. Nikolai Volkov, their lead weapons researcher, his cybernetic eye whirring as it focused on the horizon. We've come a long way, Sarah agreed. But is it enough? Nikolai's lips curled into a predatory grin. Oh, it's more than enough. Come, Commander. It's time you saw our secret weapon. They descended into the heart of the complex, passing through layers of security that would make Fort Knox look like a picnic basket. Finally, they entered a vast underground chamber that hummed with barely contained power. At its center stood a colossal humanoid figure, easily 20 stories tall. Its sleek, obsidian surface seemed to drink in the light, giving it an otherworldly presence. My God, Sarah breathed. Is that? A Titan-class battle mech, Nikolai finished, pride evident in his voice. But not just any mech. This beauty is powered by something the Zarkov could never anticipate, human consciousness. Sarah's eyes widened. You mean? Yes. A human pilot, neurally linked, becomes one with the machine. The perfect fusion of human creativity and technological might. As if on cue, a hatch on the Titan's chest slid open and a lithe figure emerged. To Sarah's shock, she recognized Aisha Kimathi, one of their top pilots. Aisha's eyes glowed with an unnatural blue light as she approached, her movements unnaturally fluid. Commander, she greeted, her voice overlaid with a metallic resonance. The Prometheus is ready for its first real combat trial. Sarah struggled to hide her unease. Aisha, are you all right? The pilot smiled, an expression both familiar and alien. I've never been better. The neural link, it's like being a god, Commander. I can feel the power thrumming through every circuit. Nikolay beamed like a proud father. And this is just the prototype. Imagine an army of these, each piloted by our best and brightest. The Zarkov won't know what hit them. Sarah's mind raced with the implications. The power of these titans was undeniable, but at what cost? She pushed the thought aside. They were at war, and war demanded sacrifices. How soon can we deploy? She asked. That's the best part, Nikolay grinned. We've detected a Zarkov supply convoy passing through a nearby system. The perfect opportunity for a field test. Sarah nodded grimly. Make it happen. But Nikolay, we do this by the book. No unnecessary risks. As they prepared for humanity's first strike against the Zarkov in 3 millennia, none of them noticed the shadowy figure observing from a hidden alcove. Agent Zephyr, the last surviving member of a secret pre-fall organization, slipped away unseen. Her masters would be very interested in this development. Hours later, the Prometheus stood ready in the launch bay, its massive form dwarfing the support crews scurrying around its feet. Sarah addressed the assembled strike team, her voice firm. This is more than a raid. This is humanity's declaration that we're back in the fight. The Zarkov think they've won, that Earth's children are nothing but a footnote in their history. Today, we prove them wrong. A cheer went up from the crowd. Aisa, now fully merged with the Titan, raised its enormous fist in a salute that shook the very ground. As the launch countdown began, Sarah felt a mix of pride, hope, and gnawing concern. They were about to change the course of history, but at what price? The Titans were a technological marvel, but the blurring line between human and machine made her deeply uneasy. The massive bay doors rumbled open, revealing the star-studded void of space. With a roar of fusion engines, the Prometheus and its escort ships lifted off, accelerating rapidly into the unknown. Sarah watched them go, a silent prayer on her lips. Humanity's future hung in the balance, and the age of Titans had begun. But even as hope soared, a quiet voice in her mind whispered a warning. In their quest to defeat the monsters, had they become monsters themselves? As the ships vanished into the darkness, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they had set in motion events that would reshape the galaxy in ways none of them could predict. The die was cast. For better or worse, humanity was about to announce its return to the cosmic stage. Little did they know, other eyes were watching. In the shadows between stars, ancient powers stirred, roused by the echoes of humanity's defiance. The game was far larger than they realized, and the true battle for the future was only just beginning. Echoes of betrayal. The void of space erupted in a dazzling display of destruction as the Prometheus tore through the Zarkov supply convoy. Aisa, her consciousness melded with the Titan, danced through enemy fire with inhuman grace. Zarkov energy beams splashed harmlessly off the Titan's obsidian hull as it closed in on the flagship. This is for Earth. Aisha's digitized voice boomed across all frequencies. The Titan's arm transformed into a massive plasma cannon, unleashing a blinding stream of energy that split the Zarkov ship in two. Back on Haven, Sarah watched the battle unfold through the neural link, her heart racing. The mission was a resounding success, but something felt off. The Zarkov's response seemed muted. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the command center. Massive energy spike detected. A technician shouted, "It's coming from inside the base." Sarah's blood ran cold. Lock down all sectors. Now. But it was too late. A blinding flash engulfed the room, and when Sarah's vision cleared, she found herself face to face with a holographic projection of a being she'd only seen in ancient records. "Greetings, children of Earth," the alien figure spoke, its voice resonating with otherworldly authority. I am Zorax, overseer of the Zarkov Imperium, and you have played your part perfectly. Sarah's mind reeled. What are you talking about? Zorax's multifaceted eyes gleamed with amusement. Did you truly believe your awakening was an accident? Your entire journey, your secret base, even your impressive titans, all of it was by our design. The revelation hit Sarah like a physical blow. But why? Evolution, my dear, Zorax purred. The Zarkov have grown stagnant. We needed a worthy adversary to push us forward, and who better than humanity, with its delightful penchant for violence and innovation? As Zorax spoke, Sarah noticed movement in her peripheral vision. To her horror, she saw Dr. Volkov and several other key personnel transforming, their human facades melting away to reveal Zarkov features. You've been watching us this whole time, Sarah whispered, the full extent of the deception dawning on her. Oh, it's far more than that, Zorax chuckled. We've been guiding you. Those marvelous titans, Zarkov technology, seeded into your scientists' minds. You've become the perfect weapons, ones that think they're fighting for themselves. Sarah's hand inched towards her sidearm, but Zorax noticed. Now, there's no need for that. You've all performed admirably. In fact, it's time for the next phase of your evolution. With a gesture from Zorax, Sarah felt a searing pain in her head. She fell to her knees, clutching her skull as foreign thoughts and memories flooded her mind. You see, Commander Chen, humanity's greatest strength was never its technology. It was your adaptability, your drive to survive against all odds. We've spent millennia cultivating those traits, and now you're ready to join us. Through the haze of pain, Sarah saw her fellow humans undergoing similar transformations. Some resisted, screaming in agony. Others embraced the change, their bodies morphing into hybrid forms, part human, part Zarkov. This is the true awakening, Zorax declared. Humanity will not reclaim Earth. You will transcend it, becoming part of something far greater. With her last ounce of willpower, Sarah activated her emergency beacon, a quantum-entangled device that would send a warning to the Prometheus. As darkness closed in, she saw Agent Zephyr emerge from the shadows, her form shifting between human and something else. The game has changed, Sarah, Zephyr said, her voice a mix of pity and excitement. The question is, will you be a player or a pawn? Sarah's world faded to black as the base around her transformed, reshaping itself into a grotesque fusion of human and Zarkov architecture. The true battle for humanity's soul had begun, and the lines between ally and enemy, human and alien, were blurring beyond recognition. Light years away, aboard the Prometheus, Aisha received Sarah's final transmission. The Titan's eyes flared with a new intensity as Aisha processed the betrayal. But beneath the shock and rage, a small part of her felt a thrill of anticipation. The neural link with the Titan had changed her in ways she was only beginning to understand. As the Prometheus turned back toward Haven, Aisha made a decision that would alter the course of the war. Humanity's future now rested in the hands of those who were no longer entirely human. The stage was set for a conflict that would redefine the very meaning of existence in the cosmos. The Zarkov had hoped to create the perfect weapons. Instead, they may have sown the seeds of their own destruction, and the birth of something beyond both human and alien understanding. The quantum schism. The Prometheus hurtled through space, its hull crackling with untamed energy. Inside, Aisha grappled with a transformation beyond human comprehension. The neural link had evolved, pushing her consciousness to the edge of reality itself. Warning. Quantum instability detected, the ship's AI announced, its voice distorting. Chronological anomalies imminent. Aisha's laughter echoed through the ship, a sound both human and otherworldly. Don't you see, that's the point. With a thought, she interfaced directly with the ship's systems. The Prometheus shuddered, its very atoms seeming to split and reconstitute. In a blinding flash, they vanished from normal space. Meanwhile, on Haven, Sarah Chen awoke to a world turned inside out. The base had become a nightmarish fusion of organic and mechanical, pulsing with alien life. But something was different. She could feel the changes the Zarkov had initiated, but her mind remained her own. Impressive resistance, Zorax's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. But futile, you cannot stop evolution. Sarah stood, her body moving with newfound grace. You're right, I can't stop it, but I can direct it. She reached out with her mind, connecting to the hybrid systems around her. To her shock, they responded, reshaping themselves to her will. The Zarkov hadn't just changed humanity, they'd given them the keys to their own technology. Across the base, pockets of unaltered humans fought against the transformation. Sarah broadcast a message through the neural network: resist full conversion. Find the balance between human and Zarkov. It's our only hope. Agent Zephyr materialized beside her, her form flickering between states of being. Well played, Commander. But the game is far from over. She gestured, and a holographic display sprang to life, showing the galaxy map. Look. Sarah gasped. Countless worlds were lighting up, each pulsing with the same hybrid energy as Haven. It's happening everywhere, she whispered. Zephyr nodded. The Zarkov didn't just target Earth. They'd been seeding hundreds of worlds with dormant human colonies for millennia. And now they're all awakening. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a war for Earth. It was a battle for the future of intelligent life in the galaxy. Suddenly, a new signal pierced through the chaos. The Prometheus had returned, but something was very, very wrong. The massive ship phased into existence above Haven, its form twisted into impossible geometries. Aisha's voice boomed across all frequencies, but it was no longer entirely her own. I have seen beyond the veil, she proclaimed. The Zarkov, the humans, we're all just pieces in a cosmic game, but I've changed the rules. The Prometheus began to glow, reality warping around it. Sarah watched in awe and terror as sections of Haven began to shift, merging with fragments of other worlds, other timelines. Aisha, what have you done? Sarah demanded. I've transcended, Sarah. The Titan unlocked something within me, within all of us. We're not just evolving, we're becoming unbound from space and time itself. As if to demonstrate, Aisha appeared before them, but she was no longer confined to a single form. She existed in multiple states simultaneously: human, Zarkov, energy being, and things beyond description. Zorax materialized, his usual composure shattered. This is not what we intended. You're breaking down the very fabric of reality. Asa laughed, the sound rippling through dimensions. You wanted to push us to our limits. Congratulations, you succeeded. With a gesture, Aisha opened a portal, revealing Earth as it was 3,000 years ago, moments before the Zarkov invasion. We have a choice to make, she said. We can undo everything, start fresh. Or we can push forward into a new era of existence. Sarah looked at the Earth of the past, tears in her eyes. Everything they'd lost, everything they'd suffered, it could all be undone. But at what cost? Wait, she said, a new understanding dawning. This isn't just about us, is it? The Zarkov, the other awakened colonies, we're all part of something bigger. Aisha nodded, her multitude of forms smiling in unison. The universe itself is evolving, Sarah, and we get to decide its shape. As the team grappled with this ultimate choice, a new presence made itself known. A being of pure energy appeared, its voice resonating with the wisdom of eons. At last, it said, you begin to understand. This was never about conquest or survival. It was about preparing you for what comes next. The entity revealed the truth. The universe was approaching a critical juncture, a cosmic evolution that would redefine the nature of existence itself. Humanity, with its unique blend of adaptability and determination, had been chosen as the catalyst for this change. Now, with the power to reshape reality at their fingertips, Sarah, Aisha, and the remnants of humanity faced a decision that would echo through eternity. Would they return to the past and rewrite history, forge ahead into an unknown future, or transcend the very concepts of time and space to become something entirely new? As the multiverse hung in the balance, awaiting their choice, one thing became clear: the story of humanity was far from over. In fact, it was about to take a turn beyond even the wildest depths of imagination. The stage was set for a finale that would leave viewers breathless, questioning the nature of reality itself and eagerly sharing their theories about what it all meant. The lines between science fiction and philosophy blurred, promising a conclusion that would be debated and discussed long after the credits rolled. The multiversal nexus. The fabric of reality trembled as Sarah, Aisha, and the remnants of humanity stood at the precipice of cosmic evolution. The being of pure energy, now revealed as the overseer of universal constants, expanded its presence, engulfing them in a sea of swirling timelines and parallel dimensions. Behold, the overseer's voice resonated through their very atoms, the multiversal nexus. Before them unfurled a tapestry of infinite possibilities, countless Earths, each with its own history, its own version of humanity. Some thrived in harmony with the Zarkov, others lay in ruins. In one reality, humans had become beings of pure thought. In another, they had merged with their planet, becoming living worlds themselves. Sarah's mind reeled at the implications. All of these, they're all real. Real, imagined, and everything in between, the overseer confirmed. The multiverse is shaped by thought, by possibility, by the very essence of consciousness itself. Asa, her form still flickering between states of existence, reached out to touch a nearby timeline. As her fingers brushed it, she gasped, "I can feel them. Their hopes, their fears, their potential." Zorax, the once mighty Zarkov leader, had fallen to his knees, overwhelmed by the scope of what they were witnessing. "Our plans, they were so small," he whispered. The overseer's energy pulsed with what might have been amusement. "Now you understand. The conflict between Zarkov and humanity was never the end goal. It was merely the catalyst to bring you here, to this moment of ultimate choice." As if on cue, 5 shimmering pathways materialized before them, each humming with untold power. "These," the overseer explained, "are the potential futures that your choice will shape. But beware, the consequences will ripple across all of existence." Sarah stepped forward, her newfound hybrid senses allowing her to perceive the nature of each path. The first path glowed with a warm, golden light. This, Sarah realized, would take us back. Undo the Zarkov invasion, give Earth a second chance. The second path crackled with fierce, electric blue energy. "Evolution," Aisha whispered, pushing humanity and Zarkov to their ultimate forms. The third path shimmered with an ethereal silver mist. "Transcendence," Zorax murmured. "Abandoning physical form to become beings of pure energy." The fourth path pulsed with a deep, cosmic purple. "Merger," Sarah breathed, combining all timelines, all possibilities, into a single unified reality. But it was the fifth path that drew their attention most. It didn't glow or pulse. Instead, it seemed to both exist and not exist simultaneously, defying comprehension. What is that?" Agent Zephyr asked, speaking for the first time since they'd entered the Nexus. The Overseer's energy field expanded. "That is a path of true creation. Choosing this would grant you the power to reshape reality itself, to become like me." The implications were staggering. They could rewrite the laws of physics, alter the very nature of existence. But could any being, no matter how evolved, be trusted with such power? As they stood on the brink of this monumental decision, a new variable entered the equation. A shockwave rippled through the Nexus, and a figure stepped forth from the chaos. It was Sarah Chen, but not the Sarah they knew. This Sarah was older, battle-worn, her eyes gleaming with the knowledge of countless lifetimes. "I am you," she said to her younger self, "from a future that no longer exists. I've lived through every choice, seen every outcome, and I'm here to warn you. The choice you make here will have consequences beyond anything you can imagine. The elder Sarah turned to address them all. The multiverse is not just a collection of alternate realities. It's alive, conscious, and it's dying. Our choices, our conflicts, they're tearing it apart. The power you're being offered isn't a gift. It's a test. As if to confirm her words, cracks began to appear in the fabric of the nexus itself. Through them, they caught glimpses of nightmarish realities, universes collapsing, entire dimensions being erased from existence. Then what do we do? Aisha demanded. How do we save everything? The elder Sarah smiled sadly. We don't save it. We let it go. She waved her hand, and a sixth path appeared. Unlike the others, this one was simple, unassuming, a plain wooden door. This is the path of acceptance, the elder Sarah explained. We stop trying to control everything to be gods. We accept our place in the cosmic cycle of creation and destruction. The overseer's energy field flickered with what might have been surprise. This was unforeseen. As the team grappled with this ultimate choice, the very foundations of reality trembled. The fate of not just humanity, not just their universe, but all of existence hung in the balance. Sarah looked at her older self, then at her companions, human, Zarkoth, and everything in between. In that moment, she understood that the true test wasn't about power or control. It was about wisdom, about knowing when to let go. With a deep breath, she stepped toward the wooden door. I choose acceptance. As her hand reached for the handle, the nexus erupted in blinding light. The last thing Sarah heard before everything changed was the overseer's voice, filled with what sounded like pride. And so the cycle begins anew. The screen faded to white, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats, minds reeling with questions. What lay beyond that door? What did acceptance truly mean for the fate of the multiverse? As the credits began to roll, a single line of text appeared. The end is only the beginning. This cliffhanger ending would leave audiences desperate for more, sparking intense discussions and theories across social media platforms. The combination of mind-bending cosmic concepts, emotional character arcs, and a philosophical twist on traditional sci-fi tropes would set this story apart, priming it for viral success on YouTube and beyond. The infinite recursion. The wooden door creaked open, bathing Sarah and her companions in warm, golden light. As they stepped through, the multiversal nexus dissolved around them, reality twisting and reshaping itself in ways that defied comprehension. They found themselves standing on nothing and everything, an infinite expanse of shifting colors and impossible geometries stretched in all directions. Their bodies felt both infinitely large and infinitesimally small, existing at all scales simultaneously. What is this place? Aisha breathed, her voice echoing through dimensions. The elder Sarah smiled, her form beginning to fade. This is the canvas of creation, the starting point of all realities. As she disappeared completely, her final words lingered. Remember, acceptance doesn't mean inaction. It means understanding your true role. Suddenly, they weren't alone. Beings of every conceivable form, and many inconceivable ones, materialized around them. Humans, Zarkoth, and entities beyond description, all observing them with infinite curiosity. A voice spoke, not in words, but in pure conceptual thought. Welcome, seeders of the new cycle. The overseer appeared, but changed. No longer a being of pure energy, it now resembled a brush made of starlight and quantum possibilities. You chose wisely, it said. Acceptance is not an ending, but a new beginning. Here, at the canvas of creation, you will paint the next iteration of existence. Realization dawned on Sarah. We're creating the next universe. Universes, the overseer corrected. Plural. Infinite. You will see the concepts, the fundamental laws, the initial conditions. From your experiences, your choices, your very essence, new realities will bloom. Zorax, humbled by the cosmic scale of their task, spoke up. But how can we possibly decide the fate of infinite realities? A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the assembled beings. The overseer's form shimmered. You misunderstand. You are not deciding. You are becoming. With those words, Sarah felt herself beginning to change. Not physically, but fundamentally. Her consciousness expanded, merging with the very fabric of creation. She was no longer just Sarah Chen, human hybrid. She was becoming a living constant, a universal law personified. Aisha gasped as her own transformation took hold. I can feel it. I'm becoming the principle of adaptation itself. Around them, their companions underwent similar metamorphoses. Zorax became symmetry, Agent Zephyr transformed into chaos, each of them embodying a fundamental aspect of reality. The Overseer, now revealed as the paintbrush of creation, spoke one last time. Now you understand. The conflict between human and Zarkoth, the trials you faced, they were all to prepare you for this role, to create beings capable of shaping reality itself. As their old identities faded, merging with the cosmic constants they now embodied, a new understanding bloomed. They weren't just creating new universes, they were becoming the universes. With a final burst of awareness, Sarah, now the living embodiment of consciousness itself, realized the ultimate truth. This wasn't the first time this had happened. It wasn't the last. They were part of an infinite cycle of creation, destruction, and rebirth. In that moment of perfect clarity, they began to paint. Galaxies bloomed from their thoughts. Laws of physics crystallized from their memories. Vast, impossible landscapes of reality took shape, each a reflection of the experiences that had brought them to this point. As the new universes expanded, taking on lives of their own, the beings that had once been Sarah and her companions felt a pull. They were being drawn into their creations, seeding themselves as the guiding principles that would shape the evolution of countless species across infinite realities. With a final, shared thought, a mixture of excitement, trepidation, and infinite curiosity, they let go, allowing themselves to be scattered across the cosmic canvas. In one of these new universes, on a small blue planet circling an unremarkable yellow star, the first stirrings of life began to emerge from the primordial soup. And deep within the fundamental laws that governed this reality, a spark of awareness waited patiently for the day when this new cycle of creation would reach its own moment of cosmic awakening. As the screen faded to black, a final message appeared. In the end, we become the beginning. The credits rolled in silence, allowing viewers a moment to process the mind-bending implications of what they'd just witnessed. This conclusion, blending elements of science fiction, philosophy, and spirituality, would spark intense discussions across social media platforms. Viewers would debate the nature of reality, the concept of cosmic cycles, and the role of consciousness in the universe. The story's unique take on creation myths and scientific theories of universal origins would appeal to a wide range of audiences, from sci-fi enthusiasts to philosophy buffs. The open-ended nature of the conclusion, suggesting an infinite cycle of creation and recreation, would leave room for fan theories, spin-off stories, and endless speculation, all factors that could help propel the video to viral status on YouTube and beyond.